Welcome to the freewheeling cavalcade of circular motion, thus defined by the octagon table of double-wide mental introspection and dedicated utilitarian outward thinking in defense of zero content. Translation: we ain't got nothing. Oh, hey folks, Dude here, coming to you again, a precursor to we finally take down that dreaded, nasty, icky, yucky bird, the turkey, and give it what fur. So I got a relatively large stack of stuff for a change, and I'm just scrolling through, and let me get to a good point where I know what that blank I am doing. Let's see. Scrolly. Scroll. Okay, have my starting point. Don't know if you guys are set up for Turkey Day and all the rest of the good stuff like that there, but I'm not doing turkey. And I can tell you with most huge emphasis on such item, I don't even like turkey. So turkey's not going to be in my list of stack of stuff, as it were. But sound guy went out and, well, let's just say sound guy went out turkey hunting. I had a video recorder going, and here's the audio component of it. Here's sound guy at his best. Dude!
Get a turkey, dude said. All I had to do was get a turkey. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Okay, that explains what happened to the spare stick of dynamite and why there's a massive hole in my backyard. Did I mention he actually is not a very good shot? Jeez. Wow. Martina Sasquatch in the room. Appreciate you coming on by, dude. All good stuff like that there. Don't take sound guy to the gun range. Really, don't. You're going to wind up with new ventilation devices in your roofing and possibly holes in everything else but what the target area is. Dude really can't shoot. Sorry. He can't, okay? He thinks with all the extended firearms, quantity of which we have, stocked in the podcast, that he can basically just go completely bonkers and everything will do just fine. Dude, no, you cannot shoot, okay? I don't care what you say. No, you can't. No, there's a reason why I got patches on my roof. You suck on a firing range, sir. Wow. Patriot Fever, sound guy fail basic again. Let's just say the drill sergeant, drill instructor, whomever else was on the firing line was probably in the hole going, stop, unload that firearm. Yeah, he didn't do good. He didn't do good in boot for a reason. And let's just say all the turkeys in the area probably flew away without a single scratch on him. But oh, my stars and garters, did he make a mess? Pretty much Bruce Willis in doing the Die Hard thing. I think he over Die Harded on that one quite hugely. Okay. Wow. Say hello to my little friend. Wow. Mm. Anyway, so post-election stuff's actually still kind of ticking around a little bit, and I gotta tell you what, the the thing that I think is hilarious is the way that they've been trying to pose, the whole Trump versus DeSantis thing and what have you, and trying to put these two guys at odds. I hate to say this, either one of those guys is going to get my vote. I do have a preference. I've stated that in Facebook that I do have a preference for one versus the other. And probably the easiest way I could say this about DeSantis is that he's been described as Trump without all the rough edges. That's huge. Now, if you guys are actually hearing some little rares coming from upstairs, we do have a new kitty on board, and it was another feral cat that basically we adopted in. Let me see if I can't find a real quick picture I can shoot with. Uh, yeah, I can hopefully kind of cheat with this one a little bit. For some reason, my phone display doesn't exactly play great on the camera, but this guy right here, and he is a kind of tabby with some white paint job, and he's already been named, call it what you will, Biscuit. And I don't know why they said Biscuit for a cat. Usually I go with character traits or something like Milo was, well, he was named Milo from Milo, but that became the niece's nomenclature on that cat. Orange is orange, Panther is Panther. Usually character traits of the cats. That's what I pick. Tigger was obviously we just named him Tigger because, well, he was just Tigger. OC was, she started out as outside cat and then she became other cat, and it just became kind of a cute thing just to call her OC. So that was her name. Orange is obviously Orange. Like I said, Panther's obviously Panther. Brave, that name actually came with her. That's one of our torties. The other one that we have started out as this itty bitty little, tortie kitten, and her name became Minnie, kind of like Minnie Mouse. Well, it's kind of like, calling the fat guy Tiny because she is absolutely humongous. So you see this big tortie cat come by, and it's like you call her Minnie, and it's almost like a joke, but she's huge. Look at the room. Patriot Fever sound guy believes in liberal firearms practices, aka equality of results. I think what it is he had the key to the ammunition cabinet and decided to go, you know what? It's time to just light this bird up. And he probably went just a little bit overboard, but like I say, I now have a new hole in my backyard. Thank you so much, sound guy. That was just nice. Oh, no, no. When we get warm again, you're paying for the sod. Okay? That's it. No, you are. No, you are. Okay? That's it. You are. You guys are going to have to look this one up. It's going to be probably one of these things that's going to pop up. And this is talking about, of all things, that lovely little device that came out from Fauci, because you got to shoot this stuff into your body to keep you safe. So you need to use the yeah, well, it's going to be on Rumble. So if you guys look on Rumble, you're looking for a trailer for a movie called Died Suddenly. And it's some scary stuff, folks, but it's talking about, of all things, the commonplace issues to be found when dealing with the yeah, that crud. You put that crud in your body, trying to fight off the so yeah, you stick in the and obviously, yeah, you're just gonna go down. Okay, it's just yeah, it's not good. Okay, already sound guy. You're already sound guy. Martinez Sasquatch sound guy would make a good machine gunner. Yeah, only if he was carrying around about like 6 or 7 shotguns all at once. Then he possibly couldn't miss. This one I think is completely disgusting. Coming up from truthpress.com. And obviously, this cucker really truly does not to be continuing on in the position of authority, which he currently happens to hold. But the dreaded turtle, stuck in his hole and not being able to be dislodged, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, Republican Kentucky, on Wednesday won re-election as Senate GOP leader, fending off a challenge from Senator Rick Scott, who I really think would have been superlative. I don't want Ted Cruz. I don't want any of these other kind of, butt-sucking guys. Not into them, okay? Just not. So yeah, we're still stuck with him. So McConnell won the vote that broke 37-10, which saw one senator abstain, according to Senator Ted Cruz. Yeah, like you're really going to be affecting anything abstaining. Cruz and several other GOP senators called for the vote to be postponed until after the December 6th Georgia state runoff. But the notion to do that from Cruz failed with a 32-16 vote ahead of the GOP leader vote. Quote, "I'm not going anywhere," McConnell said after the vote when asked to consider stepping aside, breaking the record of the longest-serving party leader in the Senate history. Late Senator Mike Mansford, Democrat of MONT. What the hell? Oh, Montana. Scott announced his candidacy for the Republican leader on Tuesday. Caucus lunch pitched himself as a candidate to change how Senate Republicans operate. Quote, "If you want to stick to the status quo, don't vote for me," he said in a letter to senators. You know what, dude? You're a freaking rhino suck-up, butt-sucking, power-hungry asshole. I have no respect for you, Mitch McConnell, whatsoever. In a related note of suck-up, ponderously just disgusting individuals in any form of jurisprudence or any form of legislative speaking can be had. And I know I'm going a little bit rush on that one. But this one also coming in from Patriot Journal. A man arrested for wide-scale election crime in PA. He's accused of forging signatures to get Democrats on the ballot. Election integrity is still one of the hottest topics of debate in America. Numerous cases have hit courts throughout the nation, and many citizens still don't trust the system. Gee, I wonder why. Yeah, it's because you look at it and it just seems like every is popping up and doing their stupid thing to make things completely disgusting in the aspect of all these things in which they do to just simply bring about their own form of yeah, political chicanery, as it were. So in the meantime,
but I pooped from there.
Yeah, we're all taking it in the the first syllable on that one. We're taking it into yeah. But at least in this case, the perpetrator was caught and will likely be punished. Some right-wing Americans remain skeptical after the tepid Republican performance after the midterm elections, and it's possible we could see investigations and probes in the near future. Okay, and I've heard this whole thing about the Republicans better not do anything. They better not create any waves because, those independents, they can swing either way. It's like, you know what? Even the independents could see just how absolutely corrupt, how unbelievably untrustworthy, and how low a common opinion people have of Congress, Senate, and the current holder of the White House. There's a reason why people have a low opinion of politics right now. It's because you guys are not able to be trusted. That's why. So Democrat Pennsylvania Governor-elect Josh Shapiro, amazing a Democrat's going to do this, has announced a former campaign consultant has been arrested and charged of, quote, wide-scale voter fraud. That might be a little bit in the hangings too good for him. Yeah, okay. But as it turns out, Cruz was forging signatures via the Daily Caller. Philadelphia political consultant Rasheen Cruz was arrested Wednesday and charged with forging signatures on nomination petitions so he could get his Democrat clients on the ballot during the 2019 primary races in the city. 2019. That's like, oh yeah, 3 years ago. Wow, the scales of justice are really tipped, and that millstone of justice really grinds slowly in Pennsylvania. Woof, woof. This one I find completely disgusting, but I'm gonna have to go a little bit roundy round on this one, and this is going back to talking about, of course, the This one coming in from patriotalerts.com. But the FDA says telling people not to take ivermectin for the Chinese Communist COVID viral infection was just a recommendation. I'm not going to beat this out. I'm not going to beat this out at all. You lying assholes. You said it wasn't worth it, and to take the or die, or to merely live as free Americans. You assholes said to do it. And if you don't do it, you'll be denied normal practices and freedom to move about the country and on lockdown and all the rest of this happy folderol that you guys seem to just think everybody's just going to knuckle under to. I got one thing to tell you guys. That's only going to happen one king time. You try this lockdown crap again, you're going to have a little problem because most people have seen the game for what it's worth and they're not going to play along with you. So, reading it here from Patriot Alerts, like I said, U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, telling people to stop taking ivermectin for the Chinese Communist COVID viral infection was informal and just a recommendation, government lawyers argued during a recent hearing. No, every one of you cuckers needs to get drug into court. You need to get charged with crimes against humanity, and you need to get thrown under the jail. Like I said, in the recent hearing, the cited statements were not directives. They were not mandatory. They were just recommendations. They said what parties should do. They said, for example, you should not take ivermectin to treat the Chinese Communist COVID viral infection. They did not say you may not do it. You must not do it. They did not say it's prohibited or it's unlawful. It's sounding entirely too much like a Dr. Seuss book. I did not say you cannot do it. I did not say you must do it. It's blatantly obvious what these assholes said. They also did not say doctors may not prescribe ivermectin. Wrong, and more wrong. And there's perfectly good justification, documentation, and ways to say that you cockers can get caught on your lies. It's well documented that you guys said, oh, it's not recommended. And then you dried up the supplies, and then you made it hard to get, and then you did all these other happy folderol things to make it not applicable for the utilization and treatment therein of the Chinese Communist COVID viral infection. You said the only way to get around all this stuff to protect yourself and others is to use shots. Exactly. To use only the shots. So you screaming. No, sound guy. I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say assholes, but yeah, that works too. Okay. They also did not say that doctors may not prescribe ivermectin. Isaac Balfour, one of the lawyers, told the court during the November 1 hearing in the federal court in Texas, dude, you were going to lose your ass in Texas. Quote, they use informal language. This is true, he said, adding that, quote, it's conversational, but not mandatory. Man, if there was ever a case of lawyer speak and persons that need to find themselves in one of the Dante's lower hells, it's that guy. That guy right there. He needs to just ouch, that really hurt. Yes, that guy needs to have that kind of stuff happen to him. Okay? Just, you know what? I got this one, sound guy. He needs to just. Yeah, that's what needs to have happen to him. He needs. Death! By snoo. Oh, no. He is not going to get away with something as nice as snoo. He needs. Let's get ready to. Yeah, he needs that. Ivermectin is approved by FDA, but not for, hang on a second. I'm not going to say it because, I don't want to get flagged by Facebook, obviously. It's not, okay, it's approved by FDA, but not for the Chinese Communist COVID viral infection. Drugs are commonly used for non-approved purposes in the United States. The practice is known as off-label treatment, which is completely legal for the doctor to use his judgment to go, you know what? we've thrown a bunch, I'm going to use the phrase nicely here. We've thrown enough mud at the fan and none of it has stuck. So we're throwing enough defecation at the rotary oscillator. Let's try this therapy as opposed to all these other things that we did and they did not work. Let's just try this one on a lark. I was reading something in, some medical journal somewhere, or I heard some foreign nation, they said possibly that we could use this. And when we apply this, it works better than simply just that. All right, that was me doing that one. So the FDA even created a webpage in 2021 titled, quote, "Why you should not use ivermectin to treat or to prevent," and later posted a link to a page on Twitter while writing, quote, "You are not a horse, you are not a cow. Seriously, you all stop it," end quote. The second post stated, quote, "Hold your horses, y'all. Ivermectin may be trending, but it still isn't authorized or approved to treat." On a separate page, the FDA said, Q, or question, "Should I take ivermectin to treat or prevent?" A, which would be answer, no. Those actions interfere with the doctor's practice of medicine, violating the laws, including the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, the lawsuit alleges. If asked the court to rule on actions unlawful and bar the FDA from directing or opining as to whether ivermectin should be used to treat. Jared Kelson, an attorney representing the plaintiffs, told the court during the hearing that the informal claim, quote, "doesn't explain the language they actually used. Stop it with the ivermectin," end quote. The FDA actions, quote, "clearly conveys that this is not an acceptable way to treat these patients," he argued, end quote, obviously. Plaintiffs in the case include Dr. Paul Merrick, who began utilizing ivermectin in his... using it in his treatment protocol in 2020 while he was the chief of pulmonary and critical care medicine at the Eastern Virginia Medical School and director of the intensive care unit at Centera Norfolk General Hospital. After the FDA statements, Merrick was told to remove the protocol from the school's servers, while Centera issued a memorandum to the hospitals telling them to stop using ivermectin against... with a citation to the FDA. Merrick was forced to resign from his mission because he couldn't prescribe ivermectin due to the FDA statements, the suit alleges. The government has moved to dismiss the complaint, asserting the plaintiffs lack standing because the injuries could not be tracked back to the FDA. Bull blanking S. During the recent hearing, there was a motion to dismiss. The government said the FDA could not be blamed for the injuries. Good luck with that one. Quote, "Plaintiffs have also not shown any of the claimed injuries are fairly traceable to the defendant's statements because their injuries are caused independent third-party conduct that was not predictably response of those statements," Belfer, the government lawyer said. Good luck with that one. Good luck with that one. You guys gave policy, you gave intention, and you also said don't do it or else, because we're the government. We're here to help. If you guys want to know anything about how to do the federal government and, see if you could trust them or not, ask any Indian. True. Just ask any American Indian. They'll be glad to tell you just how good it is to have any contractual basis with the federal government, and you will know for a fact that you are boned. I don't know if you guys saw this picture or not. This one coming in from the Twitter page of Larry Hogan, also known as our former state governor. And if there's anything that could be describing Larry Hogan in public, in nice public statement, you could say he's basically squishy. He's like a sponge. He's squishy. He's squishy, okay? And he's really a suck up. There's no other way that you could say the guy is anything but a, king rhino, butt-sucking wannabe Democrat who is Republican just to say, "Oh, I'm different than those guys." No, sound guy. He's not that good, okay? He's no. Not even close to being anywhere near that, but he's just no, he's rhino. He's rhino, okay? Yep, rhino. Full on rhino. that thing broken? Okay, thanks. Uh, but the thing that I thought was pretty hilarious about this is he's standing in his Twitter post. Who's he standing by? Well, of all things, he's standing by the head butt sucker himself. Uh, he's standing by Mike Pence. If there's ever a duplicitous, backstabbing Judas, too Brutus, call it what you will. I do not like Mike Pence. I haven't liked Mike Pence, and I've always thought that he pretty much was an opportunistic piece of. I really want to say things here, but an opportunistic piece of crap that rode on the coattails of Donald Trump and really was unworthy of the position to say, "Oh yeah, I'm that guy who's the second in command. I'm only a heartbeat away." But yeah, so the Twitter post is him standing side by side, shoulder to shoulder, both of them wearing blue suits with red ties. And here's his statement. It was great seeing and joining the stage with my good friend at Mike Pence. We both addressed the at RJC leadership this weekend. Man, you want to talk about butt sucking. So anyway, the deal making liberal suck up and a rhino backstabbing asshole. Yeah, that's the RNC leadership. RNC, you better act like you want to fix stuff, or you too can be tossed out of office. It could be very interesting next time around where you basically have a situation where the independents and the libertarians say, you know what? You've tried both these guys. Both of them are so full of, well, no, dude, I wasn't going to say that, okay? I was going to say, okay, I'll allow that. That one actually was not bad. That actually was decent. Would you stop at the ding? You can't even get a damn turkey, okay? And stop eating in the sound room. This one I think is very, very interesting. Hopefully they have a set of nuts and they actually do follow through on this one. This one coming in patriotjournal.com. The House GOP drops the hammer on a top Biden official. Investigation launched. Demands for testimony from Mayorkas and his lackeys. Yeah, that's right. We're talking about this guy really, truly just completely disgusts me. Alejandro Mayorkas, also known as the guy who basically just opened the door. Everybody come on in. It's cool. Come on in. It's fine. Join the party. Take a swim. It's cool. Yeah. So Alejandro Mayorkas basically opened the door, has pretty much not even done what he's supposed to be doing. And the first major job of the federal government is securing the border to have sovereignty of the states. No. Sorry, you can't come in. What was that sound, guy? You basically have the illegals going, see, hello, can I come in the door? Hello? I don't think that's going to happen, dude. Okay? No. No. I think if they basically, look at Mayorkas and they really give him what for, it's going to be death. No, it's not going to be snoo snoo. I'm not going to play this soundbite. You guys can look it up on your own. But I got to tell you what, the whole honesty statement from Schmuck You Schumer about, the only way to have a great future is by bringing in millions of illegal immigrants. What a piece of utter just. Hang on a second here. I got that one. What an utter piece of. Yeah, just. Yeah, that piece of. Yeah, that piece of. Yeah, liberal swine. Reelected, obviously, in New York City, but what a piece of dirt. I did find this one interesting, and this is unbelievably amazing. But this one coming in, of course, obviously from a good website, patriotjournal.com. Trump's Mar-a-Lago verdict drops days after the midterms, and it turns out the investigation not worried about Donald selling documents. Gee, isn't that amazing? Yeah. Gee, remember all the talk about Trump holding up top secret documents? It was so crucial. Just weeks before the elections, the FBI conducted a raid on Trump's home. The DOJ launched an unprecedented assault on a former president because they claimed he was up to no good. You Democrats have opened the door. And you didn't just open the door, you basically played pipe hitter and you booted the door. Okay, that's I'll allow that. That's a Democrat pipe hitter kicking open the door. Yeah. I'm surprised they can fart with all they do. Anyway, so basically they have now opened the door for former presidents to be raided, to be anally probed in levels, depths, and breadths that even like the aliens would be going, oh, dude, man, that makes me feel completely like I didn't even do it right. Look at that. They got full on. I don't know about that one, sound guy. And Martina Sasquatch. Yeah, the Nuremberg fence didn't work in 1947, and it shouldn't work now. Oh man. Do you wonder if the actual rhinos get mad? They use their name to describe other pieces of excrement. Oh, dude. Man, you guys are on fire tonight. That's just too much fun. Okay, the only thing I got to say about this one, and I really, really, really do not like this guy. We're talking about, of all people, Lindsey Grahamnesty, or I really, truly do not like him. I see him as a duplicitous piece of, yeah, just, yeah. Are you going to run through the whole pile? Okay, so Lindsey Grahamnesty, you done? Don't light a match. After Trump unveils his grand 2024 plan, Lindsey Grahamnesty claims landslide coming if Donald stays on message. Okay, the only thing I got to say about that one is the only way that Donald Trump can bring everybody back to his side of the aisle, center, left, call it what you will, is he needs a calm, moderated tone of positivity that'll be hard to contrast as bad by the Democrats. So essentially what he has to do is he has to go very, very Reagan is when they do this. Well, how do you feel about the so-and-so and so-and-so? Yeah, you know what? I really haven't even thought about that at this point in time, but I'll get back to you about that. And he really just needs to, like, when they throw these like gotcha questions at him, he just basically needs to just push them aside. I'm sorry, I can't hear you right now. Oh, what was that? Oh, end of the meeting. Okay, thanks, guys. What he needs to do is he basically needs to tell these guys in no uncertain terms that when you do this gotcha question, attack question crap, the meeting's over. Done. Bye. See ya. Not doing it. That's what he really truly needs to do. And then what he needs to do is he needs to release a statement posted on his Truth website. Oh, well, they asked me about these things right here and right now. Here's my public statement. That way that they cannot go, well, Donald Trump didn't mean to say this, that, and let's all pick this all apart. What he needs to do, he needs to go back in Twitter mode, but he needs to make it 9 to 25 bazillion times forms of nice. So they can't go, well, he's just being this, that, and another thing, and creating mayhem and murder and he needs to basically take the positivity side of things. We're looking ahead to the shining castle on the hill, blah 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 blah, all the rest of that good stuff. And he needs to turn away from this attack crap that they always seem to do to him. And he needs to just go, you know what? I'm not doing that right now. You guys can do what you're doing, but I got bigger pictures on things we have to fix right now. And there's a lot of things I have to work on right now. Obviously, I got to clean out the swamp. There's a lot of guys that have basically been there forever, don't really do the job anymore. We basically have to clean house, fix things, and get very, very cheap in the operation of the federal government. If he did something like that where people could see actually the government's not pissing away money and spending it on stupid stuff like the current administration. Really? Okay. Anyway, so basically whizzing cash out like crazy.
Oh my.
All right. Anyway, I don't know if you guys caught up on this one or not, but supposedly the head guy at the Mouse has been booted. Yeah, that's right. They brought back a former guy. So I think the guy's name was like CPAC or CPAC or something like that. But Walt Disney Corporation company chairman and CEO Bob Iger is back on the Mouse. Yeah, this one coming in from Breitbart.com. Iger will not have an easy time. He built Disney into its current structure with 4 acquisitions: Pixar, Lucasfilm, Marvel, and hang on a second here. Marvel and the entertainment business of 21st Century Fox. The $71 billion purchase of Fox settled the company with a debt burden that forced the company to suspend its dividend. It remains an open question of whether the company beholden to actually governable or it needs to be broken up. So in other words, they overspent big time. And they've also lost a lot of money on the Disney Plus thing that they thought was going to be a cash cow. Despite speculation Iger might have his eyes on Netflix, it is unlikely Iger will be able to start a new age of acquisitions. For one, antitrust regulators are not likely to approve further consolidation of the companies in the entertainment sector. For another, high interest rates are likely to roll out further debt insurances that will fund a major purchase. It should not be forgotten that CPAC was handpicked by Iger's successor. One of Iger's most important roles as Disney CEO will be grooming the next chief. Keeping the other talented executives on board while selecting one executive as a designated heir may prove extremely challenging. Disney's rivals may likely look to poach executives alienated by the process. In any case, until Iger spells out what he thinks went wrong with CPAC pick, there will be little reason to be confident he can be more successful with the next one. Internal pressure at Disney will move ever wokeward and will certainly not abate. If anything, the toppling of CPAC will likely embolden the far left of Disney. This is a problem for the company because woke politics are undermining the quality of the products and driving away the conservative family Disney needs as customers. It remains to be seen if Iger has the strength of character to push back. He certainly will be tested. Well, the other side of it too also is merely the fact that Disney has been extremely politically active in such a way that they actually had major pushback in Florida and got their pee-pee slapped big time. Like they actually lost the most especially universally unique situation where they actually were their own government on 2 cities. Now, the Disney location in Florida comprises about 29,000 acres. So the Kevin O'Neill, appreciate you, dude. Disney and grooming should never be in the same sentence. Well, let's just say it might be. So anyway, what's going on there is they have really truly overextended themselves, and the woke policies and what have you that they've done have really slapped them in the face because they've done things that they never really truly should as an entertainment organization, which is getting involved in politics. I'm sure Walt is probably spinning in his grave at about 6,000 RPM right about now, and it's truly sad to see that what she intended to be like a family thing, all, basically just, very, very 50s, 40s kind of way of thinking where everything is safe. It's basically happy land. You come in, do your thing, no major problems. Everything is just easy peasy, blah, 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 blah. But they've turned it into something political because they had all the finances. So the corrupting element in the room has definitely been the liberal side of things. And Disney is definitely looking not so good. I don't know if you guys caught the story or not about, Joe obviously pardoning the 2 turkeys. He couldn't even do that right. There's a news story where things went completely kerfuffled and it went bad. I don't remember the whole story about it, but it went bad. Wow. This one coming in patriotjournal.com. This one I find to be very, very interesting. Let's give me 1 second here. I need a swig. The leader of the RNC party may lose her job to a midterm fallout. The New York challenger, also known as Lee Zeldin, might be challenging her and may just win. So like I said, this was coming in patriotjournal.com. Conservative pundits spending the last few weeks finding reasons for the lackluster results of the 2022 midterms. Well, they oversold it, okay? That's basically it completely. Donna Rosie, appreciate you coming by, dude. Republicans took back the House and won critical races at the state level, but failed to produce the red wave everybody was expecting, especially considering Biden's massive failures. Well, here's the major problem. the Republicans really, truly didn't show that they were all that great. They weren't showing themselves as the good alternative. They were showing themselves as only slightly less disgusting. Yeah, so when you come right down to it and you see basically the Democrats doing their thing and they're completely corruptible and they're completely corrupted and they're obviously going to do what they do because that's just how they do stuff. And then you look at the Republicans and the Republicans really don't have a set of nuts and act like they really truly want to fix stuff. Everybody goes to the voting booth and they looks at the R and they looks at the D and they looks at the R and they go, and they're really not thinking. No, they're just thinking it's just. Yeah, you're just stuck in there, man. You are stuck in there, and you're picking the lesser of two evils. So we're looking at the machine, and it's a flat line, folks. It's just flat. You really are not motivated to do the heavy lifting for their regard. So what can you say right now about the Republican Party?
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked
up. Yep. they should have done better, and the whole thing about overselling the red wave probably set them off for failure because they should have been humble about it, and they should have been, yeah, we think we're going to do pretty good, but we really, truly just need everybody to come out. We don't think we're going to do as great as everybody hopes we're going to do, but please come out and vote for us. Irregardless, we want to fix things. Scrolly. This one I think is like I was saying earlier. This one at patriotjournal.com. GOP 2024 battle takes a major swing just days after Trump's announcement. New poll suggests a wave of support is now trending towards DeSantis. Now, like I said, I'll vote for Donald. Okay, I voted for him before. I'll vote for him this time. But the thing about it is, if DeSantis comes up on the primary, I can't say squat about it because I'm a D. I am not an R, so I can't fix that problem. But I will tell you what, if DeSantis comes up there, like I said earlier, he is Donald Trump without all the rough edges. And I truly, truly could see DeSantis being just an awesome guy. And I love this thing when they keep going on about this. Oh, he's too young. He doesn't have the foreign country, the foreign affairs experience. Oh, it's like, wait a minute. If you guys read your history books, how old was JFK when he went in office? He wasn't that much older, or he was roughly in the same age group as DeSantis. So let's just do a really stupid, easy thing here. Doing a quick little thing here. How old was JFK when he was elected to office? He was 43. DeSantis is 44. Okay? So the whole, oh, he's too young. He doesn't have the practical experience. I got bad news for you. What did JFK do before he went into office? He wasn't like the governor of the state of Florida, which is like one of the largest economies on the planet. No. And here's the other thing too. Is also, when it comes right down to it, if you think about it long and hard, and if you look at it for what it is, the numbers are now flipping over diametrically. California is going down in its GDP. Florida is going up. If nothing else, the other thing that kind of sucks, and I've heard this expressed most plainly, is they said it's going to be really hard for Republicans to win in some states because all the blue states are losing all their population to the red states. Okay, if they're consolidated, they don't get that much more, electoral, and they actually probably lose some. Yeah, exactly. Delano Rossi in the room said, besides his family being well connected, his brother getting into politics, JFK was a PT naval boat commander. He was a Navy guy. Oh, what's that little thing that DeSantis wore on his uniform? Oh, that's right. It was the Navy SEAL Trident. You're picking the wrong fight with the wrong dog, dude, because you can easily contrast JFK and Ron DeSantis, and DeSantis is actually much more capable with way more experience. And oh, yeah, he's actually been there, done it. And I really truly think it'd be kind of damn interesting if they try to do this whole contrast thing where it's like, oh yeah, well, he's too young. It's like, excuse me, the last guy that you had back in the 60s that faced off against the Russians and kept us from getting nuked was younger. Yeah. And I was just thinking about that just the other day. And I was contrasting, looking at things going, those guys are the same age group. Yeah. Anyway, so what do voters think? Many times it's time for the party to find a new leader. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis swept the 2022 midterms carrying a stay for the party. And now a new poll reveals what Florida voters think of 2024. From the Daily Wire, a new poll surveying Florida residents found that Florida Governor Ron DeSantis would trounce former President Donald Trump in a 2024 Republican Party presidential primary. The poll conducted last week from Saks Media found that DeSantis beat Trump by a whopping 45 points, 66 to 21. Hang on a second, sound guy. I think I got that one. Yeah.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Because that kind of is just gonna be just ouch. Yeah, brutal, ouch. Brutal. Now, what kind of political capital does Donald Trump still have? Well, he got a lot of people elected. So in the state levels, potentially he is the guy to kind of shill and sell and get people in office. Because if you look at his numbers, he had a really high preponderance of successful, I like this guy type of runs. Now, would he actually be somebody that could go back into the White House? Well, let's just do a quick little look at here. I mean, DeSantis will be, what, 46, 47? I mean, let's just take a real quick look right now. Ron DeSantis' current age is 44 years old, so he'll be 46 when he goes into office, right? Donald Trump. He will be 2 years. He'll be 78. Okay, so he'll be the same age that obviously Joe Kaka was when he went in. And I mean, obviously, Trump is just a virile, bouncing off the walls kind of guy who really, truly is just in good shape. He's one of these guys with the really good genes, and obviously he's all there. And if you look at, the name is. It's really easy to say that is not in good shape. It can be said that he's pretty much circling the drain, and his health has gone to. Yeah, it's gone to caca. Okay, thanks. That's kind of disgusting, sound guy. Okay, that's kind of just nasty. All right. It is not monkey feces. Stop. Okay. Patriot Fever, I still like the idea of Trump first. While he's still with us and DeSantis has to follow. Could you imagine 12 consecutive Trumpian years? Well, here's the thing. In their practice in the way that they do leadership and the way that they run things, there's some similarities there. I mean, obviously, DeSantis coming from a military background, he probably sees things more, probably more like, gain fail. Trump obviously looks at things in the big picture. If I move this chess piece, what happens over on this side of the board? If I do this, that, and the other thing, do these other things happen? But the biggest thing is I can say for a fact, hugely. And I'm not doing it hugely, but hugely, the thing that you could look at was things were more stable. Financially, things were more on an even keel. That is until, well, obviously, somebody had to throw something in, throw a spanner in the works. And obviously, the Chi-Coms had to play around with and kick out the. Yeah, they had to throw that hit out there to put the brakes on stuff. Now, I've heard it said and I've heard it expressed that the Chinese Communist covert viral infection has a way of engineering that it actually was done. It actually was engineered to wipe out the elders, wipe out the weak, basically be really nasty in isolated areas to some people, mostly because the Chinese have got an issue right now with all their societal ills. They did the one child for couple thing for too long. They have what 30 to 50 horny guys all sitting around with no girls to hang out with and nobody to crank out kids with. The other thing too is also they have an aging population because oh yeah, they also had a baby boom like the rest of the planet did from like the 40s to like the early 60s. They had a baby boom just as well. So they were cranking out, pooping out, tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of kids. And of course, in doing tons of kids, obviously they're now older. And by the time you come around to this time period, they're ready to retire. Now, how do you retire in China? You really don't have Social Security. And truly, the thing about it is, in the process of it, you have the guys who are too old reverting themselves to living with their families. That's the Asian way of doing stuff. There isn't like retirement homes. The elders move in with the rest of the family, and obviously that's where they do their stuff. So, in the process of doing their stuff and hanging out with the family, you now have all these people condensing themselves. So, the family now has to support the elder, and obviously the elder gets more, health issues and things go wrong as they're going down, and there's the slow downturn of obviously life expectancy, what have you, as they get older. So all these things come into play, and the other side of it too is also the way China works is you're not allowed to have a stack of cash. If you make money and you need to put it in a bank, well, it's possible you might not be able to take it out because the government goes, you know what? We think that you should have a bank account with 30 to 50,000 yuan without any deductions. You should have that money in there at all times because we're not going to let you take it out. And the times when people did try to do a run on banks, the banks got tanks. Literally, they parked a tank out in front of the bank and they said, you know what? This bank is closed. So they went further out to try to hit another bank. That bank was closed. Until finally the Chinese said, you know what? All the banks are closed. We won't allow you to take any money out because we think right now you're going to do a run on the banks and we don't want you to have too much money. But if you want to invest whatever surplus cash that you have, you can buy into the pyramid scheme realty thing that we have going on. And folks, if you want to see something disgusting, look up the whole Chinese pyramid system of investment that they're only allowed to invest in. That is the only investment they are allowed to make is in their real estate. When they take a piece of crap, they build up the piece of crap, it becomes a bigger piece of crap, and every step along the way, it becomes more and more expensive until finally the last guy owns it, and all the pile of debt that's piled up on top of it, owning a piece of crap that's not worth what it was and what it isn't and what it got added onto is where they are currently with their standard financial setup. It is a house of cards ready to fall over, and they're seriously hosed. Let's see. Where you at? Yeah. Donald Rosie. On the right time, if Trump and DeSantis collaborate, might be a force to be reckoned with. If Elon Trump can clean house, Trump and DeSantis can too. Well, true. But the thing about it is these guys hopefully work with each other and don't play the games. And of course, the politics coming into play and all the rest is happy fall to all. And, the mess of what it is. That's what they got going on. So let's see. Scrolly. I mean, obviously, these guys ran together. Sure, great, cool, whatever. But yeah, I'd rather see one over the other. The whole Arizona election thing. I don't know if you guys caught up on this one or not, but Maricopa County. That's all I got to say on that one, man. Maricopa County. You guys are just. How can you say it without saying it? Other than just, well, it's just. That's all I got to say to that one. Reagan's 11th commandment, thou shalt not speak ill of a fellow Republican. Yeah, that's great and that's cool and everything, but he said that back in 1964. I really tend to think that they don't do that anymore, but they should. Because Democrats will rip on each other all day long to some degree. But once everything starts happening and they need to lock, arms and be hand in hand and kumbaya.
Oh, my.
They are all over each other, and you cannot separate them in any way, shape, or form it's kind of like the joke about, how do you separate the, never mind. I was, there's a particularly un PC joke that I know about that one, but, mm, 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 mm. This one I found very, very interesting. I'm really not a huge fan of this guy to begin with, but supposedly this is going to happen and it needs to have happened. So we're talking now about Kevin McCarthy, who's now the House Republican leader of Congress, has warned three prominent Democrats that they're about to lose their jobs should he become Speaker of the House. Well, it's hopefully going to be somebody else, but it is him. I think the Freedom Caucus right now is going to be some of these guys that they really can't screw with, because these guys have got so much more gravitas that they pretty much can tell him to do stuff, and you are going to march to our way of doing things, because we're not going to basically play games any longer. So I think when the Freedom Caucus comes marching in here, sound guy loves that German march for some reason. But anyway, so basically he's told three very, very high rated Democrat House positions, you guys are gone. But he's saying Represent Ilhan Omar, anti-Semitic little, the name is. Well, it's Kaka, but it's not Joe Kaka, okay? Ilhan Omar is just, yeah. That she's just, yes. Anti-Semitic piece of, yeah. Representative Adam Schiff, what a pile of Schiff. He, for all the 2 years that he lied with his statements about Donald Trump and the Republic, the Russian blah, 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 he needs to be under the jail. Catch you later, Kevin. Could we put the pools in a floating oceanic BB gun range? Oh, no. Ugh. Oh, Delta Rossi, that's just gross. No. Ew. Okay, and also, you know him, you love him. Representative Eric Swalwell, also known as the Farter. Oh, no, I was just moving a coffee cup. That wasn't me. No. Yeah, so Eric Swalwell. Yeah, Eric Swalwell. I'll allow that one. That one's good. Eric Swalwell. Because he's basically going to boot them off the congressional committees once Republicans take back the House. In January, McCarthy vowed to remove Swalwell and Schiff. What a pile of Schiff. From the House Intelligence Committee and Omar from the House Foreign Affairs Committee. And he is poised to keep his promise. McCarthy said Schiff's promotion of the Steele dossier and Omar's anti-Semitic comments have put them on the chopping block. Ugh. You have Adam Schiff, who lied to the American public time and time again. We will not allow him to be on the Intel Committee either, McCarthy said, adding, look to Congresswoman Omar. Her anti-Semitic comments have gone forward. We are not going to allow her to be on the Foreign Affairs Committee. As for Swalwell, the Republican said his association with the Chinese spy is what dealt him a blow. One thing I found from the very beginning, Eric Swalwell could not get a security clearance in the public sector. He said, why will we ever give him a security clearance and secrets to America? So I will not allow him to be in on Intel. McCarthy says likely to become the House Speaker next year. However, some Republicans have opposed the idea. Representative Andy Biggs, Republican in Arizona, and Republican Matt Gaetz, good dude, Republican Florida, argued that McCarthy should not win majority of votes for Speaker, saying that he could end up as the Democrats' political hostage. Just. But yeah, Swalwell. Yeah, Swalwell. I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not, but supposedly HHS reports the government is now HHS released a report recommends government encourage or mandate masking to fight. Here we go again, folks. Here we go again. Because they say you need to wear a mask to protect you from Why? Because it's going to protect you and keep you safe and yuck. Just yuck. So the Health and Human Services HHS department released a study that recommends government officials, quote, encourage or mandate, end quote, masking to avoid a long Chinese Communist covert viral infection conveniently after the completion of the midterm elections. You know what? Anytime these guys play this stuff, the Congress, now that it's got Republicans, should say, you know what? We got a new budget. We're going to rethink the budget. We're going to start lowering the amount of money that you guys have to play with. Yeah. Speaking of spacious liberal pieces of crap, Hickenlooper, that piece of Hickenlooper,
blow it out your ass.
Yeah. Quote, I don't have any real facts about how the Colorado shooter got gun, but we need to have a new level of red flag laws. Quote, end quote. That's my statement on him is, I don't have anything to support my anti-constitutional stance with facts, but when in doubt, apply new gun control. Yuck. Just yuck. Ugh. I know I got a bunch more stuff, like some chick falling out in the clot shot. Trump's back on Twitter, but he won't tweet. CBS finally wakes up and admits that the Hunter Biden laptop is real. Governor Warnock is swamped with more controversies. Georgia governor, Georgia Democrat. He's not governor. Georgia Democrat Warnock is swamped with 3 major controversies. I mean, the news is just piling on with these guys. But I wanted to get into this one real quick, and it's gonna take a little while, and I want to get into this pretty good. But remember how many times I've been telling you guys, do we really know anything hard and fast about all the technology involved? Do we need to know? Do we have to know? Will we know? Can we know? Shall we know? And have all the knowledge put out publicly? How does Bitcoin actually work? Really? Okay. Anyway, so looking at what it is, I know you guys probably heard about it, but the FTX Bitcoin crashed and burned, insolvent, claimed bankruptcy, whatever, their host. This one coming in from Breitbart Business Digest. The more we learn about FTX, the worse it looks. A lawyer for the failed cryptocurrency exchange FTX told a federal magistrate court on Tuesday that the company had been on a personal the guy running it had been a personal fiefdom of FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried. James Bromley had been the co-head of the restructuring practice of the Wall Street powerhouse law firm Sullivan & Cromwell, said in a hearing in the United States Bankruptcy Court for the District of Delaware that the company was not particularly well run, and that is an understatement. Later, Bromley went on to say that the new management at FTX, who took over after Bankman-Fried resigned, had discovered a lack of corporate controls at a level none of us in the profession had ever seen. FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried speaks during the Institute of Finance. That's a picture. This echoed the statement of the company's new chief long-term restructuring expert, John J. Ray III, who said in a sworn statement to the court, "Never in my career have I seen such a complete failure of corporate controls and such a complete absence of trustworthy financial information." Bromwell is not done. He went on to say that after controls of the company was turned over to Ray and his team, they discovered the emperor had no clothes. These businesses not operate in a way that is consistent with any best practices. He described the failure of FTX as one of the most abrupt and difficult collapses in the history of corporate America, in the history of the world. Crypto bankruptcy, while everyone of the Delaware court appeared to agree that FTX and its related entities were extremely bad run by under Bankman-Fried, there was a genuine issue of contention at the hearing. The lawyers for the debtors, led by Bromley, have asked the court to redact the names and addresses of creditors of FTX. Why? Are you worried that basically things are going to go really completely wrong and you're going to find out that stuff is just going completely wrong? Yeah, that's probably all it is. It's knocking at the door. Let's see. while everyone extremely badly around, asked to redact the names and addresses of creditors of FTX. They argue that disclosing the customer list of FTX is a valuable asset in itself and should be kept confidential, and exposing customers involuntarily would be an invasion of privacy. They also noted the disclosure of exposure to FTX would further destabilize the crypto market. Okay, folks, remember when I told you about how, like, anonymous this stuff is? You know, you buy into Bitcoins, everybody else buys into Bitcoins. There's a set number of Bitcoins. The Bitcoins then gain value. And when you gain value, well, they're now an potentially certain dollar amount of value, but you don't own the Bitcoins. So your investment is virtual. And virtually, you basically can extract money from this. And it's one of those kind of really drug out things where basically you know that potentially it is worth something, but you don't know how much it is. So anyway, this thing's in bankruptcy court. And the thing that really, really is sketch is this guy, Bankman-Fried, was vacationing hugely in some island nation, bought like hundreds of millions of dollars worth of stuff. And oh yeah, all of a sudden this Bitcoin thing is suddenly insolvent. Sounds like a Ponzi scheme to me, folks. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Sounds like a Ponzi scheme where you have the one guy enriching the other guy until finally you run out of money and then the whole house of cards falls apart. That's kind of the way that one works. So anyway, what do we got going on now? Well, it's looking like Bitcoin might be something just about as fake as it possibly ever could be, but it is what it is. It's a pipe dream based on a virtual something or other that they say is worth something. Same reason I'm not into virtual dollars. You know, I want to have actual physical money if I want it. I don't want to have to go to the bank and go, oh yeah, here's my virtual card. Plug this amount of money in my virtual card. I'll walk over to the next guy, plug my virtual card into his virtual card and go, you know, put my money into his card, and he now has funds. I don't like that. That then shows I've extracted money from him, and I now carried that money around. And oh yeah, because I had the metadata installed on that withdrawal, it carried over to this guy getting cash from my card to his card, and they now know I gave X amount of money to this guy. This guy then takes his money, plugs it in, and goes, oh, here's confirmation I got money from this guy, and it went from that person. Do not like. All right, folks, so I'm going to break up with this one. I truly appreciate your kind attention. You guys hung out with me tonight, and I know you had many other things to do. Get a gold star for attendance, and I know you had many other things to do on Tuesday. Good turkey day to you, or ham day. Mine's going to be a ham day. I'm not doing turkey. I don't like turkey. But anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. Good stuff like that there. And I know you had many other things to do, but you guys hung out with me. Gold star and good stuff like that there. And I'm going to break up on this one. Eco Camp September, as always, you know you love it. And I will catch you guys later. Don't play with Bitcoin. Yuck. See you guys.